This is Don Vaughn, Alliance of Therapy Dogs Board of Directors President. In this presentation, I will be going over some of the highlights from the 2025 Member Handbook. As this was a pre-recorded webinar, if you have any questions, please contact the ATD office. At the end of this presentation will be multiple options in which you can reach out to the ATD office with any questions or concerns you might have. While going through this presentation, I do recommend that you have your 2025 Member Handbook available to follow along. On each slide, there will be an asterisk at the bottom indicating where you can find the topic I'm covering in the Member Handbook. You might also notice that the handbook looks a little bit different as our new graphic designer updated the cover this year for the handbook. As with previous years, any additions or changes to the handbook from the previous year are in red print. It's always important to look at those red changes to see what has been adjusted from the year prior. But in addition, it is important to not only read just what is in red, but your whole member handbook. Hopefully, if you have begun and started reading your member handbook, you're enjoying the new look, as well as seeing what changes have been made. As noted here in our Code of Ethics, as a member, you must read and adhere to all of our rules and regulations that we do publish annually in the Member Handbook. Not only do you need to follow these while visiting, but while also posting on social media. So if you're on a visit and you happen to take a photo during the visit that you would like to share, make sure that that photo you're sharing, you are following ATD rules and regulations. For example, following the 2-foot rule. A question we're asked routinely is, who is or what does it mean to be a member in good standing? A member in good standing is current on dues. They have logged at least one volunteer in-person visit every 3 months. So, for example, if you did a visit yesterday, a volunteer in-person visit with your dog yesterday, you would need to do another one within 3 months from yesterday. In addition to doing that visit also needs to be noted and logged in your portal. Also, your dog needs to be up to date on vaccines, has had a negative fecal test, and an annual wellness exam that they have passed within the past 12 months. Also, you cannot be presently suspended from making any visits for any reason. And as noted before, must abide by all ATD rules and regulations. Our ATD junior handlers must also follow these membership requirements. Logging visits are a question we're also asked routinely, and very important as they are part of keeping your membership in good standing. When doing a volunteer in-person visit and you're logging them into your portal, note that you can note the date and how long the visit was, where it was at, what dog. If you have more than one dog, you're able to select what dog it is and add any notes of importance for yourself that you would like to remember. Maybe you had a magical miracle moment that you would like to look back on. It is important that when logging a visit that it is a volunteer visit, and again, following ATD rules and regulations. If for some reason you happen to log a visit that wasn't volunteer, for example, it's noted that it was a visit while you were working, that would be deleted by the ATD office. What is required for doing an in-person visit? In addition to all proper ATD equipment, like a 4-foot leash or shorter, you must have your membership card. Your dog must be wearing the official red heart. You can select to place that on the collar, your dog's harness, their vest, or leash, your choice. Also, you must have written proof of your dog's vaccinations readily available. Depending on where you're visiting, you might be able to have that on your person, you might not. At minimum, you should be able to access it in your vehicle upon request. Another topic we've been asked about is virtual visits or non-contact visits. These non-contact or virtual visits became pretty popular during the COVID pandemic, After the pandemic, many have continued to do virtual and or non-contact visits. Now, you still, in order to maintain your membership, you still need to do a minimum of one in-person visit every 3 months. However, as long as you are following ATD rules and regulations, you are also able to log your virtual and non-contact visits. Some like to keep track of these numbers, and so note that you are able to do that. But again, making sure that you are still doing at least one in-person visit every 3 months from your last visit. We'll wait here a second. We're talking about visits. These are some of the items that you don't want to log. So, for example, dogs at work. If you're on the clock for, say, getting paid, that would not be a volunteer visit, so you're unable to log that as a visit. Non-volunteer visits. For example, a non-volunteer visit would be maybe you run to Menards or Home Depot to pick up some supplies, and you happen to take your dog along because the store is dog friendly. Just because it's dog friendly, this wouldn't be classified as a visit. You're simply there for shopping and you haven't been invited to do an official visit. Thus, in turn, you would not be able to mark this as a volunteer visit. Also, if you happen to be certified with another organization that provides insurance, at that time, if they're providing insurance, our insurance is not active. So in turn, you wouldn't need to follow ATD rules and regulations, but that also means you would not be able to your dog would not be able to wear the red heart tag at that time. If you are wearing the red heart tag, you need to be following ATD rules and regulations in order for our insurance to be active. Another very important safety is not only for everyone we visit, ourselves, but while on a visit, you are prohibited from using or being under the influence of alcohol, drugs, tobacco, or other related products, for example, like vaping. So while on an ATD visit, please be sure to not be impaired, not only for your safety, but the safety of your dog, yourself, and those that you were visiting. Here is a list of various ways to reach out to ATD as well as gather more information from our website, our Facebook and Instagram, our YouTube, as well as how to reach our main office. With today's presentation were some of the highlights from the 2025 Member Handbook, but I encourage you, if you have not already, to please review and read your whole Member Handbook, as today was just some of the highlights, and there are some additional changes this year in the handbook that is of importance to everyone. I thank you for your time and sharing smiles and joy. If you have any questions and concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out to the ATD office. Have a good day.